Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Horror Comedy Hangout Podcast. My name's Chris.
I'm Jessica.
Yes. And on this episode, get ready for a spine-chilling, side-splitting episode. We're going to go through the top 5 terrifying, funny movies that you should be seeing this spooky season 2024, with Halloween being only
2 weeks away.
2 weeks out. So I was going to say out,
Oh.
you're away. Yes, 2 weeks away. So stay tuned. All right. Hey, and welcome back to our spooky season top 5 films that you should be seeing, horror comedy films that you should be seeing this season. And we're going to start out with our top 5, right?
Yeah, but wait, before we start anything, we have to do our tradition on this show.
Yes, we have a tradition on our podcast, and that is for you and us. We bring our favorite drink. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. It can be non-alcoholic drink, but we like you to sit there and enjoy our podcast, whether you're listening or watching, with your favorite drink. We have ours, alcoholic.
Yeah.
So we're going to cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers to you all out there.
Cheers.
Cheers to everybody out there, and hopefully have a safe and spooky season.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get to that first one. Like I said, the top 5. Number 5 is Shaun of the Dead. Yes, Shaun of the Dead. This one came out in 2004. This was an Edgar Wright film. Big fan of Edgar Wright. I like his writing and his editing. This blends really good the horror comedy. I think this is one of the best blends of horror comedy. So this one has Edgar Wright. Obviously, he wrote and directed it. He wrote it with Simon Pegg, and then obviously Simon Pegg is Shaun, and then his best buddy Nick Frost, and then who else was in that too? Kate Ashfield. Yes, Kate Ashfield. She played his girlfriend. So super fun, super funny movie.
Yeah, you love this movie.
I do like this movie, and I like zombie movies. So
you do.
But I think with this zombie movie, this is one of the best character-driven zombie movies out there, because you open with this movie with Shaun being like a zombie. He's moping through the world. He's dragging himself to work. He sits on the couch with his best friend.
Just going through the motions.
Just going through life. It just shows that Edgar Wright did a really good job of showing that mundane life being just mirroring a zombie. Sometimes you can relate that you feel like a zombie some days, just kind of mindlessly moving through life. And then his best friend is sucking him down and keeping him where he is. His girlfriend wants him to get out and do things. His brother is just trying to get him. He's successful, and everybody else just seems to be living life, and he and Shaun is not living life. Guess what happens? Zombie apocalypse happens. Dun dun dun. And then it kind of forces Shaun
to live life a little bit.
Yeah, it forces him to step up and be the hero. He's the reluctant hero of this film in the end, and his life kind of turns around a little bit. What did you think? I've been talking a lot, so.
For me, I like where we sitting at 5. It wasn't my favorite movie. I definitely was hard to get into the movie because it's definitely a slow start. And I'm one of those movies, if I'm going to watch a horror or a horror comedy, you got to get me hooked pretty quickly. And this one definitely took me a little bit. But I definitely thought the writing was good. The acting was good, but I wasn't totally hooked on the whole movie.
I agree. I mean, I think this one actually for me takes a couple times to watch it, to feel
acclimate to
it. To get like, okay, what was Edgar trying to do with his writing? And one of my favorite things with Edgar Wright is his edits. He has some really interesting edits. You have to watch it to see. They're really quick jump cuts that move through just to show different things. He used music really well.
Yeah.
Which I think Edgar Wright is known to. With Baby Driver, that was all music. But this was before that. And a lot of the music matches the action. So the music becomes really a big part
of each scene.
Of the scenes.
Yeah, it does.
It really does. And then sometimes juxtaposes what's going on too. So it's just like the opposite of what you're seeing in the film, which really is exciting
Yeah.
as well. So I think it's one of those great zombie films. Obviously, a horror comedy because that's what we're talking about. So it's definitely a watch that you should go out and see.
At least once, like I did.
Yes, at least once. Put it in that VCR and watch it.
VCR.
Yes.
How old are we?
Well,
Ooh, I don't think they make those things anymore.
All right.
DVD player, maybe.
Yes. DVD player. Go watch it.
Yeah, definitely
you'll
a
like
must
it.
watch.
It's
at
on
least
our
once.
list to watch
Mhm.
every year. So, yes. So
All
let's and moving on.
What do we
to-
have next? Number 4.
And number 4, what do we have for number 4?
Number 4 is Zombieland.
Zombieland. You know what? We're sticking with that
zombie theme
we are.
a little bit. Just
So
a little bit. Just bear with us.
Just ignore the zombie theme throughout this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes. Just ignore that. So yes, number 4 we have Zombieland.
Mhm.
This one came out. When did this one come out? I have an
Oh,
IMDb
it's
page.
been a hot minute. 2009?
2009. So we've gone to 2004 to 2009.
Mhm.
This one stars Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg,
Eisenberg,
Emma Stone, and
Abigail Breslin.
Abigail Breslin. So an all-star cast.
Yeah.
Emma Stone and Abigail were fairly new on scenes, so they hadn't done a lot of big stuff yet. So yes, another zombie. This one was written by Ruben Fleischer. But this one is a little more action-packed, right?
Yes, this one I definitely enjoyed a lot more. It was definitely action-packed. It did have a few slow moments, but it had to build that story for me. So, but once those kind of like story points were built, it was just action-packed pretty much through the whole movie, which I really enjoyed.
Did you enjoy the music? It had really good rock music.
That rock music was amazing,
right?
Actually.
Great rock music.
Yeah.
That's what kind of hooked me right from the beginning with the rock music. The rock music got me right from the beginning. The rules.
Yeah. He had like what 30 something
32 rules. And they pop up on the screen, and it's just very comic booky type thing. I like that comic book feel to it. So that was also a fun thing I liked about it. The music, the style of the film as well.
And I think another thing that I really liked too, especially in the beginning until they brought Emma Stone in and Abigail Breslin, was the banter back and forth between Woody Harrelson and Jesse's character. Because they just spun off each other so well.
I think they had a
great dynamic.
Great dynamic and great chemistry together.
Yeah.
And it was like a fun ride because they were actually on a ride to try to try to get to the other side of the country. Woody Harrelson's looking for
to get a Twinkie.
Woody Harrelson's character is looking for a Twinkie. Yeah, I mean, that I'm a writer, and I'm like, that's just so simple. He's looking for a Twinkie. Why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I write something looking for a Twinkie in a zombie apocalypse? I think Jesse's character is just trying to survive.
Yeah.
As well. And I think this one has a good storyline. You need to trying to survive in the zombie apocalypse, learning how to survive in a zombie apocalypse, and rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah, rules are definitely meant to be broken. Yeah,
rules are meant to be broken.
Yeah, because you kind of see Jesse kind of like his walls or his guards kind of start coming down through the movie and start realizing, sometimes you got to live a little bit, even if you are living in a zombie land.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Those, and he learned about being a family. Just.
I think they all kind of learned about being in a family.
Being in a family, and it's not a typical family. It's not there's friends that just found each other, and family is whatever.
Yeah, whatever you want to make it.
Wherever you want to make it. Even though it was a comedy, a horror comedy, they didn't shy away from the blood either.
No,
they definitely went in hardcore on the blood, which is nice. That I always appreciate that as well. You can make it funny, but serve the horror as well. You got two genres you're trying to mix together. So yeah, make it funny, but then serve that horror as well. A lot of good practical effects. The effects were really good as well. I like when they do that. Not too much CGI and stuff like that. Some CGI, but some practical effects. Also 3/4 of the way through the film, the Bill Murray cameo.
Oh, yeah.
I love some Bill Murray. He has a connection to another one in this list that we have coming up too. But so it was fun to have him in there too. He was super funny as well. So yeah, this is another great one for you to check out.
Definitely gotta check it out.
Action-packed, blood, comedy, great relationship, chemistry between the actors,
Yeah,
playing the
totally, all the
characters
way
as
through.
well. It was super fun. Goes by quick. So add that to your list. Watch it this season. Yeah.
All right, you
All
ready
right.
to
So
talk about the
moving on.
next one?
Yeah. What are we up to now?
Number 3.
Number 3. Number 3. What's that
So
going to be?
we are actually going to take it all the way back to 1988.
Yes.
And number 3 is
Juice.
Beetlejuice.
Yay. Beetlejuice.
So, which is super popular right now since the second one just released. A month ago.
About a month or so.
About a month or so
ago.
Mhm.
We did a review on that.
Yes, we
You'll be
did.
able to find that card up in the top here. I'll put a link to that if you want to see our review of Beetlejuice. But this is the original Beetlejuice, like
Yes,
you said,
it
from
is.
1988. Another classic.
Great year.
Not zombie. Yeah, great year. Yeah. This one comes from the crazy and imaginative mind of Tim Burton. Yes. This stars Michael Keaton,
Gina Davis,
Alec Baldwin. What's her name?
Winona Ryder,
Yeah,
and
Winona
Catherine
Ryder.
O'Hare.
That's it. Those are the
is
people I wanted to say.
a really good lineup of a cast.
Yeah, it's a great lineup of cast.
Great lineup.
This was only Tim Burton's second film. He did Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which did really well, and that's how he got to do Beetlejuice. So this movie is
out there.
It is out there. But
Open mind.
It's out there in an amazing way, and
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's seen that. But if you have not seen it, you have to put this on your list.
Gotta watch the original
this holiday season. Yeah. Great acting. Obviously, Michael Keaton just killed it as Beetlejuice. It's funny because he's not in the movie very much. It's named after him, but he's not in it as much as the other characters.
It's like select
but he
scenes
steals the scene every time.
Yeah.
He comes out.
Mhm.
It's visually amazing and visually scary at times because of some of the practical effects. Because this has an indie feel to it because it was such a low budget, and those are some of the complaints that Tim Burton got, was that the stop motion effects that are in the film were too cheesy, but that was his workaround to save money on the budget. So he added, it was early CGI, stop motion.
It's 1988, so yeah.
So a lot of that is in their complaints, but you have to look at it as a whole. Look at it as kind of an indie film. Look at it as it from like my point of view as a filmmaker, that you had to work around those workarounds because you didn't have the money or the budget to do it.
And I think from my perspective as like the viewer, where Chris talked about it kind of being cheesy, there was definitely a few moments where I was like, okay, like, can we keep this moving? But overall, I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's great. It's just, it makes you, and it's got a lot of funny scenes into it. So you're definitely laughing the whole time. You are kind of tilting your head a few times, but you I don't know, you just go on a journey with this film is what I really like about it. And
it's a good journey.
It is a good journey.
It's an interesting journey because you go into the underworld and everything like that. The other things I wanted to point out about this film were the writers, which we talked about in our other review, is they actually wrote this to be more hardcore, and then the rewrites that came out that it became more comedy. Although it stayed pretty much the same film, it was more hardcore, so it's less now. And the other interesting fact, which I said in the other review too, but I'm going to add something to that one.
Okay.
Warner Brothers, who the production company was, they wanted it to be named Ghost House. That's the name they wanted to name this.
I forgot that.
And Tim Burton was like, hell no.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. You might as well name it Scared Sheetless.
Scared Sheetless?
Sheetless, like sheets.
Sheet, like a bed sheet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was like, yeah, go ahead and do that. You might as well just name it Scared Sheetless. And they go, oh, we like that even better.
Oh, Lord. No, absolutely not.
He's like, absolutely not. He's like, this is just getting worse, So thank God he won out. He pushed hard enough
and got Beetlejuice
and got what he wanted. And that just goes always. I love listening to these facts as a filmmaker myself, that you just push for what you want. Don't give up what you want.
Never.
Don't let anybody else tell you anything differently. And he's like, no, I want Beetlejuice, and that's what it is. And it would have never been the same if it wasn't called Beetlejuice. Wholeheartedly
House.
believe that. Or Scared Sheetless. Yeah.
No, I'm bored already with that
No.
title.
So yeah, this was very good. It won an
It won an
Oscar
Oscar,
for
yeah.
best makeup, obviously. So
Oh yeah,
if you like it for anything, like it for the makeup. Danny Elfman did the music for that. Tim Burton was a big fan of Oingo Boingo, where Danny Elfman was in the band, and Danny Elfman ended up scoring almost all his films. So he just kept them on and kept them rolling. So this is another great one. Make sure you see this one, rent it, VHS it.
Oh Lord,
I'm
here
still
we
on
go
the VHS
again.
thing.
Well, we're gonna leave you back in 1988,
Yes.
and I'm gonna bring us back. Ooh,
Bring us back.
I'm gonna bring us back.
We're not doing Back to the Future. That's not
We
a horror
won't tell
movie
you
or
what,
comedy.
but we're gonna go back.
Yes. So go see this film.
And then go see the second
And then
one.
go see the second. That was what I was trying to say the whole time. See this one, then go to the theater, because the other one's still in the theater right now. So go see that Beetlejuice. And then you'll do that whole thing. You'll get the whole
sheetless event.
The whole sheetless event. Yes.
Alrighty. So that now brings us to
number 2, right?
All right. So this was a hard debate between us. I personally think this should be number 1, but I got overruled. So our number 2 pick is American Psycho. So this is definitely one of my favorite movies for this time of year. I absolutely fell in love with this movie. I don't know if that makes me a little crazy, but I think Christian Bale absolutely nailed this character in every aspect of this movie from beginning to end. Praise that man, because to me, this should be number 1. But again, somebody overruled me on that one.
No. I think it's great. It's so funny that, yes, he'd had a great performance, and it's very scary and comedic at the same time.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think this film has been debated whether it is a horror comedy, but it does have those.
I had to throw it.
It does have those comedic elements in it.
Yeah, it does.
So like you said, this stars Christian Bale,
Justin Theroux,
Josh Lucas,
Reese Witherspoon's in it.
Reese Witherspoon, and
Jared Leto.
Jared Leto.
Yeah,
he's the one that you're. Yeah, but we won't give it away if you haven't seen it. So yeah, this one follows around Patrick Bateman, Christian Bale's character. He's an investment banker, and he's just this obsessed with his health, obsessed with being the best
at everything.
Everything
has to dominate.
Every aspect. Beyond. He narrates the film throughout it, which there's always question whether that's always good or not. If he should be narrating through, but the narrating actually adds to it, and it's almost juxtaposing it. Like, that's my word for today, because him saying things and him doing things are not matching up, and they're just like he's like crazy.
But I think it's like that's what makes the movie so amazing, is because he is narrating it, and I feel like somebody who is like that is going to narrate it in their head and then perform the action in real life. Or I don't know. I'm enthralled with this movie. I love this movie.
Right. And it's crazy that this starts out with his colleague, Paul Allen, which is played by Jared Leto, shows him his business card, and Patrick is not happy.
Nope.
It's just a business card, and his business card's better than Patrick's business card.
Which sends him into a spiral.
And ended up killing the homeless guy, and then it just bites.
It goes on from there.
It just goes on from there. And there's the favorite scene that's been debated and broken down in film school and stuff, that where in the apartment with Justin Patrick Bateman and Jared Leto's character, where he puts the rain jacket on and plastic down and plays a little Huey Lewis music, which is So it's a great scene in there as well. I think the biggest thing, because this was written by Mary Herron, and she wrote it to be about the yuppie culture and the craving of standing out in the culture. So that those yuppies trying to just stand out and be the best in whatever they're doing.
But this is set in New York too, so it's like the perfect backdrop for this whole movie. But
the big debate is,
tell me,
which we talked about, is it all in his head?
Yeah.
Or is it for real?
Yeah. Because, not to give it away, but the ending definitely throws you for a twist. And
Yeah,
it threw me for one.
I wouldn't give it away. I wouldn't give it
No.
away, but I want you to, at the end of the movie, you're going to be like, huh?
Huh?
Did this? And hopefully you like a movie at the end where you're like, huh? Because that's what you're gonna be like for sure.
That's what I totally did. I was like, wait, what happened? And I think honestly, I've only seen this movie once and I fell in love with it the one time. And I feel like I need to go back and rewatch it just because it is that
Yeah, you need to watch it,
psychological
especially if you like it.
thriller along the lines of that horror comedy, because it is just I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could go on and on, but I won't bore you with how much I love this movie.
No, she does love it. And just remember, Patrick is a borderline personality disorder. He's a psychopath.
Oh,
and with borderline personality disorder. So
yeah, which is also known as dissociative disorder now.
Yes. Thank you.
Get your terms right.
Thank you. But this film over the years have become a cult hit.
Yeah.
This is a very, very cult hit. It's very debated whether it was real or it didn't happen. Mary, who wrote it, she didn't write it in any way. So
yeah, she left it to the imagination.
She left it up to you, which way it went. She wanted to be more ambiguous about what happened. So it's kind of up to you, which is kind of good in a way if you're up for that. But if you want to see a crazy guy
going around New York,
played by Christian Bale,
whacking people.
Yes. Yeah, but it's taking your mind to it. It is a comedy, so
yeah, it does have those elements in it.
Bring in those elements. Just don't be horrified the whole time. It is a dark comedy. Dark comedy.
Yes, it is.
So definitely go out and check that. Great one for this season as well. How about what's next? Is that number one?
Yeah, that brings us to number one now.
Number one. All right. So yes, like you said, number one. Do you want me to say it or are you going to say it?
No.
I'll say it?
Yeah.
All right. I'll say it.
Because we didn't agree on number one.
No.
And you can say this number one.
All right. And
word.
Number one.
Throwing it back.
Number one is Ghostbusters. The original.
The OG.
The OG Ghostbusters.
The 1984 Ghostbusters.
Yes. I grew up on this film.
You did grow up on this film. Mm-hmm. And that VHS era that you keep
that VHS era. Yeah, which back then that's one of these notes that I have is this movie was huge. The song Ghostbusters was huge. It was on the radio all the time. The merchandise was everywhere. Everybody wanted all the merchandise. This movie just was huge, and everybody was talking about it. So, but let's talk back up a little bit. Obviously, this takes place back in that time. Mm-hmm. These are three scientists just trying to start out a business. So it's really just this humble thing of these guys just trying to
make it in
New York City with this business. And those guys are obviously Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver is in it. Rick Moranis is in it.
Another big all-star cast.
Big all-star cast. They were, like Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd, they were all big at that point, and doing a lot of comedy and stuff. So this was a baby of Dan Aykroyd. He wrote this originally.
Oh, I actually didn't even know that.
Yeah, his parents were big into the ghosts and all that stuff and paranormal activity kind of thing.
Interesting.
So he kind of followed that footstep and kind of wrote something about that, but he was having a hard time getting it off the ground. It just
and look at the films now.
Yeah.
That's insane.
All right. So, like I said, Dan Aykroyd wrote this, and he couldn't get it off the ground, so he took it to Ivan Reitman, who was able to
get it off
the ground.
Yeah.
Like I said, but back into the pop culture, like the verbiage. I've been slimed. Everybody used that back in the day.
I think they still use that now.
They might do that. They might do that now. So, it's just it just brings me back, to those characters. But he modeled them after the Wizard of Oz characters, the Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Scarecrow. Those are the three main characters.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All the things I'm learning.
That's kind of what it was, taken after. Yeah. So, and the original was Ghost Mashers.
What?
The original name was Ghost Mashers.
Ghost Mashers.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that song? Who are you gonna
No.
call?
Ghost Smashers.
Oh, smash.
Ghost Smashers?
Smashers, Masher, whatever.
They're not drunk. They're Ghost Smashers.
We're not drunk either. We've only
No.
had one, folks. Don't worry. Or
Yeah.
are we?
So, but also, they had amazing side characters like Sigourney Weaver
Mhm.
and Rick Moranis. Those characters
Oh my gosh.
became so iconic in their roles. It was not just, they were just these minor side characters. They played big roles
Yeah.
and they nailed it.
And Rick Moranis he was just like popped up randomly and totally just would take over the entire scene, and it just worked every time.
Absolutely.
It was just, yeah.
He was definitely a scene stealer for sure.
Yeah.
And I think Sigourney Weaver was too.
Oh, yeah. She was a smoke show in this movie.
She'd come off the Alien stuff, so she was doing really well at that time.
She was.
The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was
Oh, I love
he was
the
cute,
marshmallows.
but he was big. He was created after the Michelin Man, He was
Yeah,
like a
I
Michelin
figured.
Man kind of guy.
And now they have the baby marshmallows.
Now they have the baby ones. If you go see all the other ones, all the other
they're not the nicest
Ghostbusters.
marshmallows, so don't
No,
beware.
they're evil.
They're evil marshmallows.
So there was some CGI that was used in this stop animation as well.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the day, that was because what was the other movie we were talking about? That was in our list. That was
Beetlejuice,
1988. Now you're talking 1984.
That was even further back.
Even
so yeah,
further back, they were using stop animation, trying to use the CGI the best they can. So those are the things you kind of have to look at. That it is.
It's hokey now to look at. I think for our time period and everything that we're used to seeing with all the amazing CGI and special effects.
I remember when it came out, so it was not.
That was like
it was not hokey back then. I was like, oh, this is cool. So and I think it still stands the test of time. I think the comedy stands the test of time. The story stands the test of time. They're not offending anybody. They're not upsetting anybody. It's just good old fun.
Yeah. Good old fashioned humor, which I love.
Good old fashioned humor. So another great one to go see for this Halloween spooky season 2024.
This would be like a great binge watching because there's so many now. Started the OG and worked all the way up to the latest and greatest one.
Yeah, there's like you can binge watch this one because there's a lot now to binge watch, and then you can binge watch
Beetlejuice.
You got a couple of those to watch, or you can watch the cartoon if you want to watch Beetlejuice cartoon. That kind of thing.
Ghostbusters cartoon.
The Ghostbusters cartoon, yeah. Yes. But just for your pleasure and our pleasure, we have an honorable mention.
We do.
We do have an honorable mention.
We do have an honorable mention because we only did the top 5, so we thought we would just
make
include
it top 6 or 7. We'll just keep going. Why not?
No?
Okay. All right.
No.
So our honorable mention that should be in the list, but it's not in the list, is Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Now, if you follow us, all you million subscribers out there that you are, you saw that we did a review on this.
Yes, we did.
An extensive review. So this is not going to be a big review. It's just
a little snippet.
A little snippet of a funny movie with 2 rednecks that bought a cabin out in the woods.
And it is their
vacation
luxury,
cabin.
Yep, vacation home.
Luxury vacation home.
And it is
funny. Yeah, funny enough. A bunch of college kids are going out there. Stereotypical college kids think that the hillbillies are stereotypical hillbillies, and
axe murderers at the same time.
And shenanigans ensue when one of the girls falls in the water, and the hillbillies save the girl, take her in and care for her, and they think that they're killing her.
Yeah. So basically everything that could go wrong on this movie completely goes wrong, but it is definitely a must-see on your list. Again, we have reviewed
super funny.
But yeah.
Super funny. I laughed all the way through, but that's another one I think too. Funny, but also has that bloody horror to it.
Aspect, yeah.
You're honoring the comedy and you're honoring the horror.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's definitely a must-see. So
it's a must-see.
That is literally our top 5 plus our honorable mention.
Yes. So thank you for joining us for this episode of our top 5 to 6 horror comedies you should be watching this season. You got 2 weeks left before Halloween. So get it in, and then you can always watch after Halloween. It's not against the law yet that I know of. Or the rules. So if it's November 1st and you happen to watch it, we won't tell anybody.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys for joining us. And all the links will be in there for the ones that we've done reviews for. And join us again. Please make sure to check us out, like and subscribe on our YouTube channel, the Horror Comedy Hangout on YouTube, the Horror Comedy Hangout on any platform that has a podcast. You can check us out on. So I prefer to watch us than hear us, but whatever
Mhm.
you do, you can be doing what you can listen to us while you're driving to work if you do desire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Cooking, cleaning,
Cooking, cleaning, just put
taking a
us on.
shower.
It'll be so much fun.
You
Yes.
won't regret it.
Yes.
We promise.
All right. Till next time. Oh,
we have more stuff?
we have one more announcement. We have one more announcement.
We do?
Yeah. The next show,
Oh, yes.
our next show
It's very
is
exciting.
on Halloween. That's our next release. So it's going to be a live show with a special guest that we
Mhm.
have coming in.
Wish
Hey.
us luck.
Wish us luck. We have giveaways.
Yes,
We have
do.
giveaways.
Mhm.
It's going to be on about 8 o'clock in the evening Eastern time.
Mhm.
Please come and join us. Call in. You can ask us questions. You can ask our guests questions. You can make comments, whatever you want. It'll be a very interactive show with our guests. We'll be dressed up
Yep.
because it is Halloween. So if you want to come dressed up, you can either call in or type. You'll be able to type in
Any
your questions that
questions.
you have, and then we'll pick winners for our giveaways. We already got our giveaways here, so I'm
Me
excited to give
too.
them away to people. Yes. So just wanted
If
to
I
let you
don't
know
keep
about that
them.
important announcement. And thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
And we hope to see you on the next one on Halloween.
Ooh, spooky, spooky.